Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Fuel Power. In this video, I thought we'd catch up with the fleet and just see how they've been lately, where they've been to, what work's been done, just that general sort of fleet update. So let's have a look, and we'll start off then with Millie the Mini. Recently she's not really been too far, to be perfectly honest. There's not really been a huge amount of events I've taken her to lately. Not for any specific reason to do with her, she's been okay. Sweating a little bit of power as an A-series does, but that's just what they do. It's currently on about 66,674 miles, it says just there, so doing well at the minute. Still sounding lovely with that Maniflow exhaust. The arches need a bit of work, but that'll be a winter thing. They'll be fine until then, or at least rear quarters, probably what it's called. But yeah, not really been to many events in the Mini lately because just generally I've been busy with other things, and other events have taken the places of going to events in the Mini. I love going places in the Mini. The Mini is brilliant, and I want to do more of that this year. Certainly will be in September. Recently not really been out too much. Last time I used her really was June for an event, and recently I did attend a Wilton Wake Up breakfast meet, so took her down to that. So not really getting a huge amount of use at the minute, but work done, nothing really significant. The only thing I've done is added a boot light just up here, made out of a Mini indicator unit from, one that I got from Bingley Hall. So that's got a clear lens unit, light in, bulb in there. Little switch here, just turn it on and off, because most likely time I'll be using it is going to be at night time. So mainly installed because if I've got the caravan on here and I'm storing some things in the back of here, I want to be able to see it at night. Yes, I could use a torch, but having that in there just makes it easy. These down here are towing adapters I made for the Mini for, well, towing the caravan with the Mini basically, because it's slightly wider. I want to be able to see what's happening behind me, make sure nobody's being stupid trying to overtake me in a place which just is not suitable for an overtake or something like that, you know. But yeah, the Mini's not really been out too much because events haven't quite lined up with my calendar. But what has been busy lately is the Panda, of course, my daily driver now. Has been for about 3 years basically, and it's doing well. Sitting on about 1,000 miles more than the Mini. 67,680, so yeah, 1,005 miles or so, 1,006 miles more than the Mini at the minute. So certainly earning his keep, but doing well. We've been to Bromley Pageant this year, and the video isn't up yet, but it is quite a large video, so it will be coming up at some point. Recently I did complain, or at least in the last update video I did complain about a squeal coming from the Fiat, and initially I thought it was coming from the front end. It definitely sounded like it, and everybody who got into the car with me to have a listen to it and check it out also agreed it was the front end. We had the brake caliper replaced, the brake pads, and they didn't seem to fix it, so I thought it must be the bearing, but never actually got around to having that changed. We did have a look at it and it looked fine, but obviously a bearing can look fine and not necessarily be so. Coming back from Bromley Pageant with this, we had the caravan on the back, which you'll probably have seen if you watch Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. You'll probably have seen the caravan in that video and Driven 24/7's video as well. But yes, taking the caravan back, the Fiat started squealing, and it turns out after all that it was just the caliper in there that was grinding against the disc. So that's now being replaced. The Fiat's perfect again, no noises. The Fiat is running all good and doing a good job actually of towing the caravan as well. We've been up to the Cotswolds recently with the caravan. We've been to Bromley, quite a lot, and the Fiat's been doing all the towing duty with it basically. The only event the Mini's towed the caravan to was Retro Rides Weekender, and it did a good job actually. Give it credit, it's only a small car. But yes, we went to Jersey in the Fiat recently. Now I absolutely love going to Jersey. I've been there many times before. I always wanted to try the Panda 100 HP over there, and this time I got to, and my conclusion of that is it is pretty much the perfect car for Jersey. Great little cars, love the 100 HP. But yes, this been to Jersey, and recently so has the Sandero. This has been away on holiday as well, taking the other half of the family. I've locked the car evidently, I'll unlock it. Bit of an extended fleet member, obviously. It's not really one that I focus too much on. Just noticed this little speck of rust starting to peer in there, which is not great, so I imagine that's just catching on there, so I'll have to do something about that, I'm sure. But in here, what have you done? 41,787 miles now, and running pretty well actually. It's been to Jersey for the week and driven all around there, and it has only lost 1 bar of petrol. Of course, these cars, they work in bars. Fuel in this, really good, and the best thing about it is free tax as well. Diesels get a lot of hate these days, of course, with all these ultra low emission zones and things coming in, but I think there's still a place for them at the minute. The diesel in this, 1.5 DCI, Stepway top spec Laureate, doing a really good job. The only thing that bugs me about these particular cars is the fact that there is no boot button. You've got to use the key to open it, or use the little toggle flap thing down on the driver's side. All the cars are extremely well. This has had no work done recently. I think the only thing it's had within the last couple of months since the last update is the MOT, and it went through with flying colours, no problems at all. Fleet here is doing pretty well. Now, of course, there's one thing that I do have to talk about upcoming very soon, is the Fuel Power Party. Yes, of course I'm going to put a plug in there. It's my event. Fuel Power Party, 11th of September at the Army Flying Museum, Middle Wallop in Hampshire, between Salisbury and Andover. Any vehicle welcome, any age. If you're interested in coming up that weekend, please just fill in the form down the description below. Let us know what you're bringing, how many people. It's just so we've got a good idea of how many people are going to be turning up. You can see the entire members, basically, of the Fuel Power fleet, whether they be slightly extended or not. The Mini's going, the Fiat's going, the Sandero behind you is also going, and the Caravan in there is also coming with us. And the C5. It's great, isn't it? But yeah, we'll go and have a quick look at the Caravan and the C5 in the garage. So here is Trixie Trident, looking extremely blue. Hopefully you like the colour. I do still have some videos left of the restoration of this, although much of it has obviously been seen already. Doing quite well. There's a few little jobs I need to do, such as fixing the window support strut that keeps breaking and it's rubbish. So I need to find out a better way of fixing that, but that'll come up when I've actually had time to think about what I need to do to that. Also, the pump for our fresh water, that plugs into here, and then that's controlled off a button inside the Caravan. That has currently lost a wire, it just needs resoldering back in. It's quite an easy fix, so I'll be doing that before too much longer as well, especially before next time we go out in the Caravan. Other than that, been doing well. Certainly getting a lot of attention literally everywhere. We went to the Cotswolds, as I already mentioned earlier on. Got quite a bit of attention in the campsite, caravan site there. That was next door to Clarkson's farm, so if you haven't already checked that video out of our little weekend away up there, then please do check it out. Link will be at the top of the screen somewhere up there. But yeah, the Caravan done extremely well. Fiat tows it nicely, the Mini tows it nicely, although a bit slow on hills, but it's a Mini with 1 litre. What do you expect? Currently, no plans to go out in it yet. I'm sure we'll think of somewhere else we want to go before the end of the year. But currently storing literally everything inside. Now, the C5. The C5 is something I do really want to get started on. Not a lot has happened since the video update where I announced we actually had a new member of the fleet, and this was it. And the reason nothing has happened yet is we're still missing a few bits on it, so I need to get a few more bits before I can actually really start putting it together. My plan would be to get the chassis here powder coated, although it doesn't look too bad. There is a bit of surface rust coming in underneath, and powder coating, it does such a lovely job. I bought this has been powder coated, and as you can see, it's glossy, it's shiny, it's nice, and of course we've had the frame of the Caravan done, so it's worth paying the money to get it done. Got some ideas on how to use these threaded rods to make the C5 actually work, because I can't get all the original bits, so it's going to be a bit of an adventure with this. Not going to be one for the purists, but hopefully at the end of the day we will have a working Sinclair C5. Things that I'm missing that are stopping me from completing or at least beginning the build are the top nut for this at the minute, so I need to get one of those. So as I mentioned, this will be coming to the party. That'll be going inside the Caravan and towing probably behind the Fiat, I would imagine. Try and just get it all there in one piece. The Fiat's better at towing, full stop. Probably going to be a bit of a winter project more than anything, but that's fine. I've got enough to do up until winter, so I'm not exactly desperate to start it, although I would like to have a go in it soon because it just looks fun. So talking of vehicles not working, my Renault Megane Classic. This has been set up now since January because there seems to be a bit of a thing at the minute on the internet for older French vehicles with rear torsion bar suspension failure whilst towing smaller or trailer type objects, shall we say, behind them. So this happened obviously back in January whilst towing the caravan home, as it's been quite well documented on this channel already. Not really a lot to update on the car. Nothing's happening in the very near future. We do have a timescale now for the repairs. Hopefully, fingers crossed, New Year is when the work will begin to get this back up and running, and hopefully it should be a straightforward process. It's not going to be easy, of course, but it should hopefully be straightforward. At the minute, it's being a bit of an ecosystem to the local wildlife, so spiders are starting to live behind the wheel trims, and I imagine probably in every crevice they can possibly get their 8 legs into. Bit of dust on there from the Saharan dust we've had fairly recently here in the UK. Got some moss developing in there, so who says older cars aren't environmentally friendly? This one's doing its part. It does have its French friend to talk to. Peugeot 205 was over there, where just in front of where the Panda is. It's currently now over here, so at least these two can, I guess, have a car-based chat, I suppose. But yeah, my next plan with this is to maybe get it started up when I come back another day, give it a drive around the unit. So that'll be a bit of fun. So anyway, that's an update on the Renault. Over to Genevieve with the Fiat 500.
Thank you, Jake. Hello. So here I am in the 500, otherwise known as Doran. I think for the first time I've done an update on the channel, which is quite exciting. Doran hasn't really got very much to update you on, apart from the fact that she hit 30,000 miles and she passed her MOT, which isn't bad for a 12, 13-year-old car. There's a few little bits and pieces that I want to do, but it's purely aesthetic, nothing that actually needs to happen. New tyres need to happen at some point, I think. Not necessarily soon, but at some point in the future. And new door flags. A little triangular piece just behind the wing mirror. The rubber has perished and they need to be replaced as well, purely, again, for an aesthetic reason. Ideally before Brands Hatch Festival Italia, but who knows whether that will happen or not. And then just a really good clean, a little bit of love. She has had a rough wash and a little bit of a hoover inside to get some of the grass from wherever it was that was grassy out. This weekend gone. However, a proper good dust and polish would be in order, I think. Aside from that, it's just the extended fleet I'm going to update you on. So Dad's vehicles, there are quite a number of them. Gertie the A30 being the first one. She's currently in storage whilst we have some work done at home, and hasn't really been out since we went to the college event over a month ago. I think she's due out again in a few weeks, or definitely by the end of August. But for now, she's safely tucked up and she's ticking over just nicely. And then in terms of the Land Rover, Murray, who we reviewed in February, he has just done a week's holiday in Wales, so driven Mum and Dad all the way up there, all the way around and back again. No problems whatsoever as far as I am aware. I think I would have heard if there was. Yeah, he's just doing his job as the big all-terrain vehicle, I suppose. Mum's car, she's also got a Fiat 500. It is there. That was really awkward pointing. There, she has a 2020 launch Fiat 500 hybrid, which will come onto the channel at some point. Just not quite sure when. And it's fine. Does Mum A to B, going to work and back again. She's not got very far to go, really, but does the job. Thought I'd include it anyway. And then there's a new addition to the fleet. Mum and Dad and my auntie and uncle have been thinking for a little while about getting a camper van, and a Volkswagen Transporter, I think it's a T4, has joined the clan. Yet to be named, yet to be brought home. But yes, very exciting. It's going to have a little bit of a renovation, but won't necessarily be covered on the channel, but I'm sure that it will be on the channel at some point. Yeah, other than that, I think I'm all up to date. So, we all know how much you love the sauna content on here, so let's hand over to Matt and see what he's got to update us on.
Thanks Genevieve, it's Matt here down at the workshop, here to give you a quick update on the Hugo Sauna. And there it is in all its slightly cleaner glory. It's not been too long since we did the video where we give it a wash, so take a look at that one and see how we go on getting rid of all the grime. We've got quite a bit going on this one soon, but I'm in other projects at the moment, so for now I've got at least 2 of these wheels going away for a refurbishment and new tyres. Sadly it's got one that's completely flat, which makes moving it around a bit difficult, so that's quite important to get done. We've replaced this rear light, or refitted this rear light at least, so that it's watertight. There's no bulb holder in there unfortunately, so we're trying to source one of those at the moment. I've got a couple of leads to get that done. We've got a lot of service bits for the engine bay and all the brakes, so we've got all the stuff to overhaul the ignition, all the stuff to overhaul the front and rear brakes, including new flexi hoses. I'll probably have to make up some hard lines for it as well, but that's no big job. But the good news is you can come and see the Hugo Sauna, as I'm taking it on the trailer to the Fuel Power Social on the 11th of September. So if you want to come and see and smell this thing, you're more than welcome to. Have a good poke around it. We'll see you there on September the 11th. But for now, back to Jake.
So that is the current state of the fleet. It varies quite considerably, to say the least, but as we're currently sat here in the Fiat, the next event we'll be going to in this will be Festival Italia, also with Genevieve in the Fiat 500. I'll be on the Fiat stand, where she'll be on the Fiat 500 Owners Club stand, so come along and say hi, we don't bite. Also looking to maybe go to Radwood with the Mini in not too distant future. That's a new event to me, but apparently it's one that's happened in the UK before, very popular in America. Celebration of 80s and 90s cars, and maybe spending a little bit of time in the Midlands after that as well. What else? Of course, we got our Fuel Power Party, which I've already plugged once in this video, but just a quick reminder, yes, if you are looking to come along to that, please do sign up in the link below, just so we can keep track of how many people are turning up. The event itself is, of course, free, but the museum, that will be open, but it does have its own admission fees, so just be aware of that if you want to come along. And yeah, Isle of Wight's mini adventure, that's looking to be quite fun. Always is. Love going to that particular event. So we'll be going in the Fiat this year for that. No, of course we're not. We're going in the Mini. That's going over to there. So hopefully be having a good weekend over there. Maybe even a bit more. Who knows? Anyway, that's enough rambling from me. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little update on the members of the fleet. And you're looking forward to seeing what's coming up with the ones that are currently not working and the ones that are. So don't forget to leave a like, comment down below, let me know what are you doing with your project cars, if you have any, or even your daily drives. And of course, if you want to see more car-based content, don't forget to hit subscribe, because there's always going to be plenty more of it coming up. Anyway, thanks from the Fuel Power team, and we will see you in a future video. Until then, farewell.